Welcome to Youngblood Poetry, where I share and discuss all things poetry. Today, however, I'll be sharing something that will apply to all writers. Whether you write songs, raps, essays, novels, poems, this will be very helpful to you. Regardless of whether you've experienced it now or later, you will experience this, writer's block. Writer's block is something that had affected me early on when I began writing poems, and I'm sure if you haven't experienced it, you will. But today, I'm going to be showing you 3 tricks that will kill your writer's block. The first trick is called the stream of consciousness technique. For this, you only need 3 things: a paper, a pen, and a timer. Now, what you're going to do with the timer is you're going to set it on 5 minutes. After that, you're going to take your pen and jot down whatever topic you're trying to work with. And you're going to continue writing for 5 minutes without thinking, without contemplating how intelligent what you're writing is or how much it makes sense. You're going to be cringing a lot as you're writing, like, oh my God, this stuff is so bad. But you're allowing content and material to come from your subconscious and aid you with completing your work, right? So you're just going to continue writing for 5 minutes. Don't stop. Don't think about what you're writing. So long as you have that topic in mind, let the words flow. And once the timer goes off, you're going to take a highlighter, or you can use your pen and underline all the useful material that is within the trash that you've put on that page. And I would say personally that is the most useful thing for me in overcoming my writer's block, just letting my subconscious flow. So that's the first step, the stream of consciousness technique. The second step is to read or listen to works similar to yours. Now, this does not mean copying, right? We're simply trying to gain inspiration from work that is similar to ours. So, one thing that you can gain from this is maybe looking at the word choice that another artist or another poet is using. See how it causes a shift in tone throughout their work, and then see if you can mimic that same effect, right? Now, let's say I'm trying to write a sonnet and I'm having trouble getting to the volta or the turn in tone within the sonnet. Well, I might just look at how Shakespeare did it, right? If I'm trying to write the perfect bridge for my pop song and I realize that it's just coming out crappy and I don't know what to do, maybe I'll listen to Ed Sheeran for a bit, and that will ultimately give me the insight as to how I should finish my own work. So that would be the second step. I would be wary of how much you use this, because you don't want to get into the territory of copying somebody else, but you do want to gain inspiration, and that inspiration will ultimately lead you out of your writer's block. So just keep that in mind. Get inspired, don't copy. Okay, so the third trick is to simply jump to a different location in the poem or song that you're writing. If you notice that you're only halfway through the song and you can't push through, you can't finish, that's okay. Jump maybe to the end and work your way backwards. I've learned that a lot of times if you can't cross an obstacle the way it is, you got to go around it or something. Like, you just got to do whatever it takes. And there's no harm or shame in jumping to a different location in the poem, working your way backwards to where you couldn't complete it before. Hitting it from another angle will really go a long way in helping you finish things. Now, if none of the 3 tricks I gave you work, we're going to have to go about some drastic measures getting rid of this writer's block. Now, one thing you can do is just set aside the work, focus on another project, and later come back to it when you're feeling fresh and you've gotten your mind off of how difficult it was to complete it. If that doesn't work either, you might have to take a razor to your poem and just cut things out, rearrange things, do whatever it takes. You're gonna have to rework it completely or start over, that's another option too. And if none of that works either, in addition to the 3 tricks I gave you, I hate to say this, I really, really hate to say this, but you're going to have to scrap it, all right? The 3 tricks I gave you being learning from somebody else's work, or doing the stream of consciousness technique, jumping to a different location in the poem, all of those things have worked for me countless times. And if none of that works, chances are the poem you're trying to write isn't for you. It just isn't, and that's okay. All right. A lot of poems turn out unfinished, and that's nothing to cry about. It's nothing to complain about. To be honest, all poems are unfinished works. You only decide that they're finished when you have finished editing it. But at the end of the day, you could always continue. So, I mean, it's nothing to cry about if you have to scrap it. Just be honest with yourself. You don't want to put something out there that isn't a representation of how skilled you are or how talented you are. If you have any questions or want to share your own methods of overcoming writer's block, please leave them in the comments below, and I'll make sure to look at them and give you my thoughts about them as well. And if you want more videos like this, please like, subscribe, click on the bell to receive notifications for when I put up my next video, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, peace.